Regular old white table sugar is the king of sugars when it comes to long-term food storage. Store table sugar in an airtight, opaque container that protects sugar from odor and moisture in a cool, dry location for indefinite shelf life. Avoid storing sugar close to high heat or freezing temperatures as it changes the color, flavor, and texture. Do not store sugar oxygen-free. If you store sugar in Mylar bags, a true moisture barrier, don't use oxygen absorbers because it's unnecessary to preserve sugar. The absence of oxygen in the sugar storage container causes it to get hard, changing the flavor. It gets rock hard. Do not freeze or refrigerate crystallized table sugar. It imparts moisture via condensation and turns sugar into a brick. Do not store sugar in the freezer. It causes condensation, adds moisture, and turns sugar into stone. Can you still use sugar after it turns rock hard? Yes, all you have to do is regrind it. Sugar compacting and turning hard is just an inconvenience. Because sugar is antimicrobial, it doesn't go bad and has an indefinite shelf life. The best method for storing sugar in bulk is 5-gallon food-grade bucket with a plastic lid. I get the cheap bucket and lids at Wally Mart in the paint section. They are food grade. Pour the sugar into the bucket, put the lid on, and store it in a cool, dry location for an indefinite, forever, shelf life. Store sugar in a cool, dry location inside an opaque, airtight container that prevents sugar from absorbing flavors in the pantry and moisture from the air. Sugar is antimicrobial, so that it will store indefinitely. Long-term storage of sugar is about retaining taste, texture, and keeping bugs like weevils and ants out. Avoid storing sugar in really hot spaces or areas that have drastic fluctuations in temperature or next to hot appliances. You can't get sugar too cold but too hot, and the color and flavor will change. Purchase fresh, bug-free table sugar to repackage for long-term storage. Commercial sugars don't normally come with bug eggs like grains do because sugar processing kills them. Your job is keeping bugs from getting in. Repackage sugar in an airtight container to keep it bug-free. Sugar absorbs smells, flavors, and moisture like a sponge, which changes its flavor. Nobody wants to eat rock-hard sugar that tastes like rotten potatoes, old cereal, or a bad can of beans, so store sugar in a container that provides an airtight, smell-proof moisture barrier. The best containers for sugar storage should be non-transparent, opaque, airtight, and keep out moisture and odors. Do not keep sugar in store packaging unless you are okay with it tasting like old socks and getting infested with bugs. There aren't many things. Polyethylene bags are good for long-term storage because they are clear, they allow for the light oxidation of most foods, and they don't provide a true oxygen barrier, but they work to store table sugar. If you use vacuum seal bags, don't vacuum the air out, or you'll get the same result as storing with oxygen absorbers in Mylar. The sugar turns into a rock. Mylar bags are an excellent container for storing sugar long-term. If you store other dry goods like grains or dry beans, you will likely have Mylar bags on hand. Food-grade buckets with a sealed lid are an excellent way to store sugar long-term. Buckets are easy to work with, stack easily, and reusable for other food-grade purposes like fermenting or fetching potable water. Before placing sugar in a bucket, fill Mylar bags, Ziploc bags, or home-sewn muslin bags, a cotton fabric you can get at the hobby store, to store sugar inside buckets. If the bucket cracks, sugar will still be somewhat protected by the bags. Another way of storing sugar is to fill Ziploc-type bags and place them inside a lidded plastic tote. Avoid storing any foods in non-food grade buckets unless the bucket is lined with Mylar bags first. Do not let sugar make direct contact with non-food grade plastic as it may transfer chemicals.
Thank you for watching.